All right, all right. Peace, peace, and blessings, everybody. Haki Ami, Dr. Haki Shakur Ami, the success scholar, the honorable one, Asafo. Hope you all are wonderful. Hope you are enjoying the peace and calm. Happy Monday. So I am broadcasting live here in Massanutten, Virginia. So I'm here for the Heal, Glow, Grow retreat, but I just got finished doing my healing therapeutic work, and let me just show y'all. Let me just bring some of my little ornaments in here. Oh man. So I don't have one of these whirlpools at my house, so I have to make do and enjoy myself when I'm here. But I got this one, 9-herb detox bath. You can't see it. Let me see. Actually, so I got that from Everyone's Place bookstore, and of course the now peppermint oil. So I put all these in the whirlpool. So there's some peppermint oil. Let me see. You can't see that. All right, it's all good. And then some Dr. Teal's foaming Epsom salt bath, bubble maker, and then these Dead Sea salts things. So, and the Dead Sea is in Israel, so it's good for your bath and shower and your feet. So it's a bomb. It's a bomb. So, but let me just go ahead and talk about this. And I didn't give justice the last interview, but so many of you have heard about the Senate indictment that happened recently with Senator Dalya Attar, and so much more has come out, and allegedly, well, something to the effect that someone was recorded and a consultant was recorded, and that's against the law, and they were threatened to be exposed, et cetera, et cetera. So right now you have an indicted sitting senator who officially doesn't have to resign. So she doesn't. Y'all like my shirt? My Success Scholar Success Leaves Clues shirt? Holla, holla. Get yours. Get yours. So she doesn't have to actually resign. But I don't know if it's going to be tough for her. But what I did some searches to see, like, did the Baltimore Jewish Times cover it? They didn't cover it. They didn't talk bad about the not necessarily to talk bad, but they didn't even report it as journalists. So as a story that should be told to the Jewish community, and so that's an interesting thing to cite. They don't like snitch on each other, or they don't like tell the world when something bad happens to a Jewish person. So I'm just saying, take note, black newspapers and black media. So I'm just saying, but. Let me tell y'all though. So you have Kimathi. Oh my God, this just popped up now. Allegedly, he's running in the 41st district. Now, he doesn't know the district. Let me tell you why he doesn't know the district. He actually did a video in front of Everyone's Place. Everyone's Place is in the 40th district, yo. It's in the 40th district, not the 41st. The 41st, let's see, may be up like by the junction area, like somewhere along that, because Emerson and Allendale, like that's considered like the 41st district. So that is why that is, so I don't know why would you do a video in the 40th district versus the 41st. So that's just so embarrassing to anybody. And like, come on, man. Like, but and that just goes to show he's not like running to be serious. Like he's running to sell books, get some attention, and possibly, get like some money from the global anti-Zionist, the global anti-Jewish network that may be kind of sensitive to his or his other potential movements. So let me sort of expand this conversation. So that's one thing now. And many people, reached out to me because I was told somehow. Now, I'm not going to put, the senator business out there, but he's partnered up with the uncles of Governor Westmore. I'm sorry, of the other Westmore. Many of you know of our governor and his book, The Other Westmore. What you may not know is that there was the Westmore that committed these acts and got himself in prison for who knows how long. He had some uncles that possibly should have been in his life, but they were not. And he committed these acts because the mama possibly didn't raise him right, or whatever. I mean, obviously didn't raise him right. Anytime you committing acts like this, that is a level of dysfunction, and really. And I said this before when I was talking about the other Westmore. I said I knew some very not so good people growing up. I didn't know many that would like rob a jewelry store or shoot a police officer. That is like, you have to be like mentally like savage. You have to really be gone to do that. And so I'm not gonna say the apple don't fall that far from the tree in the context of the family, but I happen to know of the uncles. I recall, and you can look it up, when Congressman Elijah Cummings transitioned, the congressman in District 7, when he passed. I was the only one there. And you can Google Congressman Elijah Cummings pass. And I did like 5 to 6 interviews that time because I was there with a sign. I said, "Thank you, Cummings." That's all I said. And, Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam texted me 5:30 in the morning, and I just jumped out of bed and went down to his office. I just assumed that there would be other people there. I mean, like, I just assumed that there would be others that would come to, he was in office 20 something years, and no one came. Like, not a single elected official, not a single New Psalmist Church. Like, I mean, everything he did for many of us, and nobody like came. I mean, people came to the funeral. Maybe it's just me, like, and I was a little delusional, thinking like that he was, and I'm not taking away, no, but I thought like, wow. I mean, because it just hit me like all at once, because that's who I looked up to, like during my past 30 years of living in Baltimore. My father took me to the Masonic Lodge like as a teenager, and I heard him speak, and I was just like, wow, So I just have those memories of him during that time. But I bring this point up to say, one of the other Westmore's uncles came down there and wanted to deflect. Must have saw the media, saw me being interviewed, and wanted to deflect and to, just turn it into a issue about what he did for the community. See, these are MAGAs, and I'm gonna put this in the context of what's happening now in the 41st district, because recently they did an interview, and I was told by someone that something to the effect of saying, saying I'm a fake success scholar or something like that. Now, I don't have to pretend to be anything, like, absolutely. I just got an award from the Maryland Black Caucus Foundation, and it's a very nice one. And I got it in front of 470 mostly prominent black Marylanders, right? So that's like it's huge, paid. They paid to be there, many of them. So that was really a phenomenal opportunity. But what I'm going to share, for instance, and many people may not know, but I know that the other Westmore's uncle had, like, friends in the 41st district. And I know that those friendships didn't pan out. And I'm not going to say things publicly of what I know about these things, but I know, for instance, that this could be like a different type of conspiracy happening. And my fear, for instance, you have, someone like Delegate Malcolm Ruff, who is a substantive candidate, and you have Kimathi. Now, let me just, and here one of the fears could be the splitting of the black vote. So the question becomes, and this is what happens when political novices jump into a race and they, doing videos in the wrong districts. That is so embarrassing. They don't know the people first and foremost, and maybe this is like a setup for 4 years from now or something. But generally speaking, and this is a message to the Kimathi supporters, and I learned this when I worked on Congressman Elijah Cummings' wife campaign. Because I felt like, I knew both of them, and, I, became tighter. I was on the Central Committee, and, during that time, Dr. Maya spent a significant amount of time. She was the chair of the Maryland Democratic Party. And so I was, active with the, Central Committee, as well as I was the treasurer, for the whole Baltimore City. So I had different types of interactions with Dr. Maya Cummings than I did, for instance, with Congressman Kwesi Mfume. So I was invited to different events during the time, she probably was there from 2000 to 2022. So, and me, I'm like, we be Maryland. I was, probably the only Central Committee member showing up in Prince George's County, showing up in Howard County. So I was developing my relationships all throughout the state of Maryland, right? Certainly, participating in some of the Democratic dinners, the Baltimore County, as well as the Baltimore City, of course. And I went to Howard County, and I don't know if I may have did one Prince George's County thing, but I don't think I try to get tickets. I tried to be strategic. If I go outside of Baltimore City and Baltimore County, I got to go with somebody or something. Like, I ain't just showing up in the back. Like, that's doing too much. That's doing too much. So, and I don't have a business that finances that. So with that being said, so this 41st district race, it's going to be complicated, but it's scary for, that IO is going to come in and try to paint Delegate Malcolm Ruff as soft or weak, or somehow you're not fighting for the people. And here's the thing: anybody can take a message and try to be and sound more extreme. They can, say, I mean, whatever the issue may or may not be, and try to polarize populations of people who really don't, have no reason to think about, the international issues about Palestine, for instance. I'm not saying that this is what this Mr. Kimathi is doing, but I got a feeling that this is like a smoke and mirrors, because you can't just come. He don't even know that you just can't like come into a district and run for Senate in a state position. I mean, without a significant amount of capital, without like some grassroots support, it just, I don't know anyone right now. Well, I think Bill Ferguson may have done something like that. I don't know if he actually was in the House. I can't recall. But generally speaking, I mean, not everybody is going to come. And why would you think that you could come in and beat Delegate Malcolm Ruff anyway? Like, why? Why would you think that somehow, I mean, it don't work like that. Like, he is thorough. He is a professional. He's a lawyer working for one of the top law firms in probably the country, but certainly in Baltimore. And he works for Billy Murphy. So why would you like really try to run and paint a picture that this black man is weak in front of the, people who you basically want to, talk about? You basically principally running just to say that you are against the Jewish people, against the Jewish community, and that he don't deserve the seat because you have a different perspective or vision or belief about the role of the Jewish people. So that's the only reason why you are running. It's not to serve black people, like really, truly, substantively, because you have to know and have a little bit more knowledge about Annapolis, not just going down there advocating for one or two issues, advocating for one or two bills. I don't think that you put in the time. You haven't put in the time there. You don't know the people in the district. You don't know the district. Like this, that's lunacy. That's lunacy to think that you're going to come in and learn an area in 6 months or a year and think that people you can run it like and build allies and coalitions to win a Senate race. That don't even make sense. I mean, if you ask me, and if I was a real conspiracy theorist, I would think that maybe they put you in to divide the black vote or to siphon off a couple black votes. And let me tell you as well what happened some years ago. You had, and this actually, y'all can go back and look into numbers in 2018. Wait a minute, this 2026, 22. Look at the past two races. Definitely in 2022. Look at all those black folks that ran for the House seat. Look at how it was like 10 of them. All good people, but they couldn't get a consensus. They couldn't get a consensus candidate to work together, to build some alliances to say, we are going to 60%, 60-ish percent of black people in that district. I don't know what's the percentage of Jewish population, maybe small, 10, 5, something, but nowhere close to the black population. But when you have a bunch of folks getting out there running, Brother Ayo, now you split the votes. It might not register to you. Why didn't you try to build like some relationship with the brother? But you coming in arrogant, talking bad about this good man, a family man, a lawyer that could help our community much more than what you can, because all you're gonna do is create division, of course, not just amongst, the Jewish community that's there, but even many of the black senators in the House, the Senate delegation. How do you feel once they Google Ayo Kimathi? Why do you feel that they, you won't get like, sympathizers? I mean, and it's possible that you could learn some of the issues, but sometimes you have to wait your turn. Like, maybe you should have ran for a House seat, but no, you just wanna attack Senator Dalya Attar. That's really the goal. You want to have a platform so that you can kind of wiggle your way in and sell books and sell some of your books, and maybe get the David Dukes of the world and these other what do they call, alt-rights, or I don't know who. There's a lot of different affiliations that he has worked with over the past few years, and this is from somebody that I know him, being as active as I am, you come across different people, and some individuals may have good knowledge, good research, good history, but diplomacy and tact matters in these political spaces. You need allies. You cannot go to Annapolis. And let me just tell you something. That's the first thing Senator Joe Carter said before. She said she thought like that once she won the election, Senator Joe Carter, District 41, when she won, I'm going to paraphrase her, but, she said she thought she was going to go down to Annapolis and do A, B, and C, and she got down there and she learned that there are, rules of engagement, shall I say. And so I'm just putting it out there because nobody has the depth or the experience or the balance, community / blackness to really articulate to him, Mr. Kimathi, and a proper analysis of what his campaign is going to do. It could work in a reverse way by possibly splitting up the black votes and, countering what you intended to do. So, there's no way, for instance, that you are going to polarize black people against Delegate Malcolm Ruff. Right? That's not going to happen in a substantive way. As long as his record is clean, not unethical, immoral, things, he is looking like the viable candidate at this time. I'm saying that due to this stuff that's going on, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for my district, for the District 41st. And I'm just really, saddened that this has happened. And now we got a more ball of confusion that's going to be happening now because of this Mr. Kimathi's campaign. And I don't think the residents really care enough. And you got to take people. You cannot come in, to the people with, all of these global conspiracies talking about World War One and World War Two, and hanging out with Holocaust deniers, and this kind of thing is too complex to be putting on the people. But you should have built some kind of alliance with Delegate Ruff, and possibly start. Look, I ran for the Central Committee. I won't do it again. I see growth within myself, but why do you feel, unless somebody is paying you or financing you, why do you feel that you can even raise enough money to win in this district? I'm just curious. So, anyway, I wanted to put all that out there. Let me get on this Durham Muhammad, the other Westmore uncle. Now, many people may not know, but these people, they stay still. They don't grow. They don't have no tech. They didn't listen to Dr. Amos Wilson. Sometimes you can give up things. You can compromise certain things for a bigger cause. And this is what I learned from studying people and being centered in the community. Not everybody is going to be an extremist, right? But you have to build some coalitions. You have to build allies in order to survive and to create a type of optimistic and hope within our community with many of the next generation, the younger people. And unfortunately, these individuals, they don't have an agenda like that. They don't engage in the community to such a degree that young people will be inspired, because they don't go amongst the people like that. And so I'm just, this is really a scary thing. And, I talked to a very wise person, and, somebody said, don't worry about him. Don't pay him no attention or but I think sometimes people can be, so upset and angry and polarizing that tentatively they may be able to pull off enough votes. And that's all that, some people may need if you want to be extra black, and, you're supposed to be allegedly trying to be against, the Jewish community. But only thing that happened is before from history is they just split up the votes. So I'm just giving a context to say that, that's just another thing to consider. But, this is not about for them, this is not about winning, actually, because that's definitely not well thought out. You're not going to beat Delegate Malcolm Ruff. Like, that's not even plausible. That's not plausible. I mean, he is a fighter. He has some knowledge, and if you actually spoke to him like once or twice, like you should have, instead of coming in and being polarized and trying to call him weak, that's like disrespectful, man. That's like real disrespectful. You don't know what's going on in Annapolis. You don't know the type of allies that you need to create. You don't know the community and how sometimes you have to work with people, and they may not be ready for the revolution, right? So you have to know your place. All right, so that's all I have, y'all. Hope you're well, and let me see. I just wanted to put that out there. I'll be back on. I'm down here messing nothing. No, I didn't pan the room. All right, so things are good here. I'll be back. Lots of good things happening this weekend. I'll be keynote as well as a panel. For those that know, big weekend. Saturday, man, I just got all kind of events. I'm trying to get some more tickets to some more things. So you'll be seeing more of me, but definitely. And I'm going to keep on as much as, keep running. I will keep, the rabbit hole runs deep. Like I told one of the delegates in that district, the rabbit hole runs deep with this one. So, and I know much. I know all of the factoids, right? So I'm like, he keep calling me out my name. Ebron, he called Westmore's uncle. And I'm gonna say this, Westmore's gonna win too. Governor Westmore, he's gonna win his re-election. And that might be really who this thing is about too. Never underestimate. See, these, let me just tell y'all, these are the black MAGAs. Let me just give like some other dynamics to this. So maybe these people, like last year during the Charlie Kirk, he had his conference. No. Was it, I don't know if it was Turning Point or was it the not. What is the Conservative Action Committee? They had a conference in D.C., right? Now, this group is called the Baltimore Black Think Tank. Now, all of them, and let me tell y'all, now it's coming all together. I forgot I wanted to add these things. So these are like a hodgepodge of, I would say, agents. Like, they're very confusing. So you have a fake black radical Muslim, right? A Nation of Islam reject. He got tricked out of the Nation of Islam. You have a wild Hebrew Israelite that tell people not to vote. He tells you not to vote, right? And he's a Hebrew Israelite, Bible quoting. Just wild though. He just like violent. He talks violent. David Johnson is the other one named. He's like some minister, but they started this black MAGA group called the Black Think Tank. So the goal, for instance, is to align themselves with the white MAGA and the Moms of Liberty and Kim Klacik to basically I don't know, just so so he goes on radical spouts about not voting, the Hebrew Israelite. And now you have somebody that's running for office, but they all are part of this black MAGA thing. And when they did the Turning Point, I don't know if it was the Turning Point or the APAC, not APAC. It wasn't APAC. The Conservative Political CPAC, not APAC. CPAC, Conservative Political Action Committee. They did their CPAC thing in D.C. It was MBE night in Annapolis, and the Black think tank had their Baltimore meeting the same night. So they put these things together. Now CPAC might have did their thing, but what a coincidence that they try to do a Black think tank meeting in Baltimore. They didn't do one in decades. They didn't do a meeting in, no, not decades, but a decade or something. And they actually had, I was just so shocked that they would put it together with the same night that the MBE night was. As much as we need intellectual thinkers focus on MBEs in the state of Maryland, and certainly, under Perrin Mitchell, with the 8A program, the visionary for that you would deflect and distract Black businesses, which create Black wealth, which creates Black jobs. And you wouldn't change the date even after I called you out. I called them out for it, and they wouldn't change the date. So that just go to show, I'm not going to say that they're agents, but the agents of confusion when the masses of the people, the Black leadership, the masses of the substantive leadership, like myself, getting the knowledge, connecting to Africa, bringing that knowledge back and building allies, keeping options, finishing the work of Amos Wilson, Dr. Claude Anderson's work, trying to, inject myself into these conversations, right? Trying to build allies, but, you'll have, and you'll have some of these goofy sisters, like, and the Darren Ebron, I know like two sisters that faithfully, just goofy, just never haven't grown. As much as I've grown, these sisters have known me for a decade, 2 decades. One of them, like, she came when we were kind of friends, and she was all at my house like, oh, this is so nice. And that was like a hood house. So I'm like 10,000 steps growing now, but you still listening to these people that's failures, right? I mean, even though they did okay, their minds, they still stuck. Intellectually, they're still stuck. I'm not gonna say a name, but I'm just calling you out, sister, just for being so slow and just for being average. I mean, although you did well, like you're just average. You're not a power player, and neither is you listening to these jokers for so long. So yes, it is personal when these goofies are, getting these dizzy women, these unenlightened, non-growing sisters that's paying them attention, thinking that they're being radical, but they're not producing anything. And I'm turning up. I don't need no help no more. Like, for real, I have some of the best and brightest allies that's respecting the work I'm doing. And so now I'm just like, all right, let me just position different things, get my money right, and keep making progress. So you'll hear more. I know people listen to my lives and to my YouTubes, of course, Raising Consciousness and Capital, as well as Haki Shikoami on various social medias, or the Success Scholar. You can Google Success Scholar. Have hundreds, maybe about 600 videos now. I'm gonna check, see how many videos I'm up to, but yeah. So that's all I wanted to hit on with that, the MAGA and how they did this. So that's a ball of confusion that you have this black think tank that I believe. I mean, they've tried to. I believe they're funded by either Moms of Liberty or the Kim Klasiks. So she may be, like financing this, and they're, the APAC, the CPAC folks. So as well as the neo Nazis as well. So this is why there are different elements that's taking place within these spaces. So I just want to let everybody know, and they can Google this one because everything will pop up. Everything will pop up, and eventually, this like ain't nobody. This is not your space, IO. Like that wasn't tactful. That wasn't tactful, brother. Like you don't have no. There's no space. It's called a path to victory. There's no path to victory there. So I don't know if anybody is able to tell you that, but it ain't happening. It's not happening, bro. I mean, just if people know all that you've said and done, your record is not good like that. It's not substantive to be in Annapolis amongst normal people. You gotta take people through a process to get people to practice some radical politics, and you start from the bottom. But you and that's what I was gonna say when I was talking about Dr. Maya. I recall somebody online, they said, and Dr. Maya Cummins, this brother, I don't know, can't remember who he was, but he said, man, why you talking about vote for somebody else? I've known Pee Wee since the 7th grade. So I'm like, okay, that's all he cares about? That he knew Pee Wee, the congressman, that's his street name, since the 7th grade. So Ayo Kimathi out of Southeast DC running in the 41st district. See, he think that somebody gonna like what he say and just vote for him. Like, it don't work like that. And I'm sure Dr. Maya Cummins was very articulate and, with many things. But she wasn't Pee Wee. And I'm just giving that example of Delegate Malcolm Ruff, who was born and raised, for instance, in the 41st district and has friends and family and has done some things there. And you don't have time to do anything, and you haven't. So it's not going to work. It's not going to work like that. So, all right, I'm missing phone calls. I got to write my script. Oh, there you go. Okay. Yep. All right, so tune in. I'll be on Carl Nelson Show tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Tune in, listen in to the Success God. Thank you. Peace and blessings.